Meet Ryan and Steve. They are both 32 years old, they live in the same city, and they both earn $80,000 a year. After years of careful budgeting and supermarket brand cereal, they've each managed to save up $80,000 in cash. But their paths are about to split. Ryan wants stability and a backyard he can call his own, so he buys a $350,000 house. Steve values his freedom. He prefers keeping his options open, so he rents a nearly identical house in the same neighborhood for $2,000 a month. If you ask most people who is making the smarter financial move, the answer is almost always Ryan. The common logic says Steve is throwing his cash in the trash every month by renting, while Ryan is safely building long-term wealth. The numbers tell a very different story. Buying a home involves massive immediate costs that vanish the moment you sign the paperwork, making the real price of homeownership much higher than society likes to admit. Let's look at Ryan's actual transaction. To buy his $350,000 home, he takes $70,000 of his savings and uses it for a standard 20% down payment. But the purchase price is only part of the bill. Ryan immediately pays roughly $10,000 in closing costs, administrative fees, lender charges, and taxes that permanently disappear from his net worth the moment he signs. Before Ryan even moves in, his entire $80,000 is gone. Meanwhile, Steve hasn't touched his savings. His original $80,000 is still sitting safely in his account. Then the monthly bills arrive. Ryan takes out a 30-year fixed mortgage at 7%, but he also has to pay property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and set aside cash for maintenance. His total monthly housing cost comes out to $2,653. Steve is paying a flat $2,000 in rent. Since Ryan is paying $653 more every month, we have to figure out how much of his payment is actually building wealth, and how much is being lost to the same type of unrecoverable costs that Steve pays in rent. This chart breaks down Ryan's exact $2,653 payment in his first month. Just $230 goes toward the principal. The remaining $2,423 covers mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, and baseline maintenance. These are unrecoverable costs, money Ryan spends to live in the house that he'll never see again. Compare that directly to Steve. His entire $2,000 rent check is unrecoverable, but Ryan loses $2,423 every month. Calling rent throwing money away while pretending that mortgage interest, property taxes, and maintenance are investments is creative accounting. The equation shifts as the house gets older. Fast forward to year 3, a pressurized water pipe bursts violently in Ryan's basement. When you own the property, every strange noise has financial consequences. Ryan pays hundreds or thousands out of his own pocket to fix the damage. If that happens to Steve, he makes a free phone call and his landlord deals with it. On top of unexpected repairs, Ryan faces creeping baseline costs. As his home appreciates in value, his property taxes and insurance premiums rise right along with it, steadily driving unrecoverable monthly costs even higher. While Ryan deals with these rising expenses, Steve takes advantage of opportunity cost. Because he didn't lock his cash inside a physical house, Steve took his original $80,000 plus his $653 monthly rent savings and invested into a broad stock market index fund. For years, Steve's investments experience compounding market growth. Every month, his returns generate their own returns, building a financial portfolio completely independent of the local real estate market. Maintaining liquidity and letting the stock market do the heavy lifting allows Steve to grow his wealth without the friction of property taxes and maintenance. Jump ahead 20 years and look at their total net worth. Ryan's home has appreciated, and he has built a substantial amount of home equity. This chart tracks their wealth over those 2 decades. By investing his original down payment and his monthly rent savings, Steve has built a liquid portfolio worth roughly $750,000, ultimately edging out Ryan's net worth. Even though Ryan is wealthy on paper, he faces concentration risk. His entire financial success is tied to a single physical property on a single street in one city. He's also trapped in a liquidity crunch. If Steve wants to access cash or move to a new city tomorrow, he can sell part of his portfolio instantly. If Ryan needs his money, he has to take out a bank loan against his own equity or endure a lengthy, expensive sale process. There is one major caveat. A mortgage acts as a forced savings account for those who lack financial discipline. Steve's strategy only works if he actually invests his monthly savings, instead of spending it on vacations or a nicer lifestyle. Buying a house isn't a magic wealth wand, and renting isn't a financial sin. Homeownership is an expensive, illiquid lifestyle choice, one that requires staying put long enough for your equity to finally absorb those thousands in upfront transaction costs.